To South America now, and the unprecedented violence on the streets of Ecuador, with the president declaring the country is in a state of war with ruthless drug gangs. Armed groups linked to drug cartels have launched a wave of bomb attacks, with more than 130 prison officers being held hostage by inmates in a number of jails. The violence began after a notorious drug lord escaped prison. Tourists are being warned to stay indoors until further notice, with all but essential travel discouraged. Yesterday, masked gunmen raided a TV station during a live broadcast in the city of Guayaquil. And Will Grant, our correspondent, is there live for us now. Will.
Clive, Guayaquil today is a city in shock. Few residents here could believe the extreme gang violence that was unleashed. Murders, bomb attacks, prison officers taken hostages, all of it unprecedented in the history of this port city, but also unprecedented in the history of Ecuador.
Viewers in Ecuador watched in disbelief as masked and armed gang members entered a state TV channel and held staff hostage, all of it televised live.
They shot one of our cameramen in the leg, broke the arm of another one. They were shooting bullets inside the studio. The police were called and came in minutes.
The gang was soon arrested and the hostages released, but the TV station ambush was just part of the descent into chaos. Panic as gunmen stormed Guayaquil University. Explosions around the country, schools and businesses shut down, and widespread rioting inside Ecuador's prisons. In response, President Daniel Noboa called a state of emergency and imposed a curfew. By decree, he designated 22 gangs terrorist organizations and ordered the military to, as he put it, neutralize them.
We are practically living in a state of war against terrorism. These are not organised crime groups, they are terrorists who are financed by drug trafficking, trafficking in people, organs and arms.
President Noboa says that Ecuador is now engaged in an internal armed conflict. But while this explosion of gang violence may have caught the nation off guard, in truth, the storm which has turned Ecuador from one of the safest nations in Latin America to one of the most violent has been brewing for years.
Specifically, this man, Adolfo Macias Villamar, alias Fito, is part of the reason Ecuador finds itself on the brink of an internal war. He's the leader of a gang called Los Choneros and escaped his prison cell shortly before his transfer to a higher security wing. 2 prison guards have been arrested for allegedly helping him flee. The gangs are largely controlled from the prisons. Even behind bars, Macias ran his organisation without interference from the authorities.
People are scared. They're closing all the stores. There is no security. They're afraid gangsters will come and loot everything.
An iron fist on crime has been used here before, but it did little to break the gang's stranglehold on the Andean nation or slow its slide towards bloodshed. Will Grant, BBC News, Guayaquil.